All right, so Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 31 has given us our first implications of Sarada Uchiha's Mangekyo Sharingan being detrimental to her eyesight, as we see her completely annihilate a platoon of nearly 20 Shinju Mamushi clones in one fell swoop. We see as she lands and as Delta approaches her, her eyesight is deteriorated to the point where she can't completely make out Delta's figure. Now, this is very much in line with the history of Mangekyo Sharingan and how Ikimoto slash Kishimoto has actually portrayed the usage of this eye, of this dojutsu throughout its history in Naruto's lore. Now, what we're going to be answering in this video is a simple couple of things, really. So what we're going to do is firstly understand and break down Sarada's current jutsu with her Mangekyo Sharingan, that being the Ohirume Gravity Jutsu. So breaking that down, having a better understanding of it, understanding 2, her blindness, 3, other possibilities she can have with her Mangekyo Sharingan alone, so that being her left eye ability and her Susanoo, and then moving on to the EMS possibilities with her Mangekyo Sharingan and how she can go about actually obtaining the EMS. So we know from this guy Itachi that once you awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan, the light in your eye eventually fades out from the moment it's awakened all the way up until you reach that point. And the usage of the actual dojutsu only speeds up this process. So it's an inevitable decline into basically going blind. So at this current point in time, Sarada has had her Mangekyo Sharingan for 3 years. Regardless of if she was aware of it or not, she awakened her Mangekyo Sharingan back when she was 12/13 years old, and we see that she has had it all the way up to the point where she now realized and acknowledged the power and has actively been using it thus since that time being. So just Ohirume in general, just understanding what the jutsu is, not no headcanon, not no he say, she say, just keeping it plain and simple, because yes, they've shown us and it's been clear cut and dry what her ability can do. And at this point, the current limitations, because there's still a little bit more free reign that you can use and operate with this gravity jutsu. And we see her utilize it in a little bit more controlled manner as compared to with her fight with Ryu, when we see her use it in chapter 31 of 2 Blue Vortex. But on the Naruto official website, under the excerpt for Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan database, we see the name of both Sarada's awakened Mangekyo Sharingan and its ability, Ohirume. It can create up to 4 black spears. So that basically lets us understand that she doesn't have to always activate all 4 spears when using this jutsu, but we understand every time we've seen her activate it, for the most part, with the exception of that time against Damon, she has summoned all 4 black spears with her jutsu, but it can create up to 4. So from 1 up to the number 4, ranging in size from 5 to 250 centimeters, the spears exert a pull that is disproportionate to their mass, producing a powerful gravity force. Now, this is important because the size of the black hole is not proportionate to the actual amount of gravity being generated, meaning she can summon a 5-centimeter black hole, and the gravity force from that 5-centimeter black hole can be extremely forceful and extremely strong. Yet the size of the actual black hole increases, and its usage probably ties into the fact of maybe increasing Sarada's flight, but definitely, as we've seen for her from actively using the jutsu, ties into the fact of being able to completely embody and encompass whatever target Sarada is absorbing. So aside from inanimate objects or things that just basically fall into the ninjutsu or jutsu category, when it comes to actually drawing in individuals or sentient beings, in this case like Mamushi clones and this guy Ryu, she's going to expand the size of the black spear so that way it can completely wrap and engulf around its target, compress it, and completely explode it once it reaches to a certain point. So the size of the black sphere is irrelevant to the amount of gravity that's being controlled and manipulated by Sarada. She can control the strength of this gravitational force at will, as well as make the spears detonate like bombs, which we just went over. She can pick and choose what gravitational force affects, but can only target things with her field of vision, as we see she emphasized in this chapter. However, she targets a living being, then the gravitational force is also also then applied to Sarada. As a result, she can maneuver the four spirits to balance the gravitational pull applied to her, allowing her to levitate. Basically control how she maneuvers and floats within the sky rather than just be forcefully pulled to the black spirits like the targets that she's actually targeting with her dojutsu. She moves with the spear. We know she can fly as fast like the Otsutsuki. The cost of this ability is that it consumes an overwhelming amount of chakra. Now, this is important because it adds onto that the typical Mangekyo Sharingan drawbacks, but prior to doing that, it says for this specific ability, right, that it consumes an overwhelming amount of chakra. And so this is important right here, and this is why we got to pay attention in literature class, guys. And like any other Mangekyo Sharingan, the more the wielder uses it, the more their eyesight deteriorates, eventually leaving them blind. So this all goes into accordance with everything we've seen with Sarada and this Mangekyo Sharingan and everything we understand throughout Naruto's lore with her Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, we're not going to sit here wasting time griping about why she's going blind and if she's considered useless amongst her other peers in the clan, because that's a completely senseless and pointless topic, especially for the recording of this video. So understanding that's how Ohirume works, and now we know that she is going blind because of many things that fall into account. One, it takes an overwhelming amount of chakra even compared to other Mangekyo Sharingan abilities, but also like other Mangekyo Sharingan abilities, continuous usage of this eye will eventually deteriorate your eyesight, eventually leading you down to blindness. Now, this is very on track for Sarada as a character because we understand the first signs we saw for Sasuke showing any implications of blindness was after his Killer Bee fight. And we understand that we gave these implications prior to us understanding at least, what Sasuke Susanoo would actually look like at that time being, because we've seen him debut it throughout the 5 Kage Summit. But prior to that, we didn't understand exactly what it would be. Now, in the midst of that battle, when we see him, actually start to show signs of being blind, it's revealed that his second eye ability is Kagetsuchi within that Killer Bee fight. And then later on in the hideout with his members and teams of Karin and this guy Suigetsu, we see that Sasuke's eyesight starts to deteriorate as he looks at a glass of water on the table. So all the signs are there, right? And in this case with Sarada, not only does her right eye does so much so he can get away with, this being the case Ikimoto can get away with not showing us her full Mangekyo abilities yet, but it's also prevalent that we are getting these crazy signs of Sarada losing her eyesight prior to even fully exploring what her full Mangekyo Sharingan is actually capable of doing. So with that being said, understanding how a Susanoo works, if we want to include some type of spiritual weapon or some type of crazy outside third-party enhancement that can be added onto her Susanoo similar to her uncle Itachi, there's an endless possible and mountain high amount of ideas that Ikimoto can go down and reveal to us as to what type of special weapon Sarada Susanoo may or may not get. And if this quote-unquote special weapon would be something to help or basically assist in her blindness or in her eyesight or add some type of healing factor. But as far-fetched as that idea may seem, a little bit more closer to home would be her left eye ability. Now, every time we've seen Sarada activate and use Ohirume, the emphasis and focus is always on her right Mangekyo Sharingan, and the blood and strain is always coming from her right eye as well. So that's clear cut and dry that she has not used her left eye or revealed her left eye's ability, despite the versatility and the amount of strength and power just her right eye alone possesses. So there have been speculations and theories dropped onto the idea that Sarada's left eye could be something that can pose some type of healing or next level advanced medical ninjutsu type ability that either slows the rapid deterioration of her eyesight or completely heals the cells around her eyes or replace the cells around her eyes or somehow restore the light, because it gets a little tricky in and out with some people referring to the blindness of the Mangekyo Sharingan non-cellular related, therefore jutsus and effectiveness like healing jutsu and medical ninjutsu and famously known the 100 healing seals won't be able to actually work, as opposed to others who believe that there is a actual cellular issue with with the Mangekyo users going blind, famously knowing that in one of Sasuke's novels, it's revealed that this guy Itachi in his life was given some kind of special eye drops that basically helped slow down the rapid blindness of his eye of his Mangekyo Sharingan. So the best way we can basically find a middle ground in this area is not necessarily saying yes, it's completely healing jutsu, because it's really a 50-50 in that regard on how you process the effectiveness of the blindness in the Mangekyo Sharingan. But scientific ninjutsu actually can be something that can be heavily focused and heavily looked at, specifically with two prominent figures in this specific case in relation to Sarada being in this guy, Amada, because of his famous and well-known clones and his well-known inventions throughout the world of Boruto that we all know for somehow, some way, always leaps and bounds ahead of the other scientists, but also this guy Orochimaru, who we come to understand extensively and exclusively spent a tremendous amount of time studying the Sharingan, learning the Sharingan, and even being able to create his own version of a Sharingan and a Mangekyo Sharingan on top of that, being in Shin Uchiha. So the possibilities are endless when it comes to this guy Orochimaru, whether it be cloning some of Sasuke's DNA to recreate eyes, cloning some of Sarada's DNA to recreate eyes, or cloning some type of close relative like Jutsu or Uchiha like blood or DNA to Sarada and her family, be it Itachi, Sasuke, or Sarada herself, and adding any type of outside or third-party shenanigans that will enhance or give her more abilities or beneficial attributes with a transplanted scientific ninja tool set of Mangekyo Sharingan eyes, or in this case being a eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. So if Sarada is able to replace her current eyes with something that Orochimaru or this guy Amado has prepared, that is very much possible. Now, the other EMS possibilities obviously lie with the 100 Healings Jutsu that is so famously known and so famously wanted by Sarada fans, and I cannot lie to you guys, I can see a chapter where it's randomly revealed that Sarada was basically sealing and storing up chakra all these years, and she's finally reached a point, or finally reached a time, where she feels like she could release this jutsu, and that plays a positive effect on her Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, I don't think that's necessarily the way that Ikimoto is gonna go, because I believe he might be bold and give her a new entire design with her EMS, and she gets actually a new set of eyes, but it's a matter of who or how he goes about doing this. Now, he can find a way to simply prolong her Mangekyo Sharingan in general, or find a way to get her a new set of eyes and go down the EMS route. Either way, if done right, I have enough faith in this guy Ikimoto and what he has done with Sarada's character so far. I believe that either way could work, and I'm excited for either way he decides to go. Now, as for Sasuke's eyes, I know people are wondering how or why this is even a theory or thought in terms of this situation, but we have to remember, based off of the flashback we've seen with this guy Sasuke talking specifically to Boruto about the Mangekyo Sharingan, spending time throughout their 1-year training and constant being on the run from other villages and nations to sit him down and explain the Mangekyo Sharingan, Uchiha clan lore and history, and that Sarada has awakened these eyes and it will be of great use in the future. I don't think it's far-fetched that they took probably a couple of weeks, maybe even a month or so, looking for Sasuke's original eyes, or tracking down Obito's original lab where we know his eyes are, and then somehow obtaining, securing those eyes and placing them somewhere for within the near future. If Sarada, or when Sarada will need these eyes, they will be there, and entrusting Boruto to handle that task. I don't think that's a far-fetched idea. It works, and it's extremely and heavily backed up by the idea that we already saw a flashback with Sasuke explaining to Boruto history and lore about the Mangekyo Sharingan in direct correlation to this girl, Sarada. Now, as for between those two theories, the healing jutsu or Sasuke's eyes, it's 50-50. Honestly speaking, I think these are the two longest standing ways in terms of how Sarada can get her EMS. We know we see newer theories and ideas being brought to light with Hidari possibly being able to transplant his Rinnegan to Sarada and her getting an EMS that way, right? The more we get deeper into the story, the more I'm leaning into the idea it might have something to do with either her left eye Mangekyo Sharingan ability, or something with scientific ninja tools. Now, basically, With her left eye, it can be simply, like I explained earlier in the video, some type of crazy advancement, some type of crazy jutsu that we never seen, because we never seen Ohirume, that explains how she's able to maintain her Mangekyo Sharingan usage and go down that Obito route where she just has the Mangekyo Sharingan and doesn't have to worry about the strenuous chakra effects or losing her eyesight. Or another way where we simply go down the traditional EMS route, but in this case for Sarada, more the scientific route, getting scientifically enhanced eyes transplanted, scientifically finding out a way to safely recreate or synthetically create a pair or set of eyes that can be compatible with an Uchiha who has undergone a Mangekyo Sharingan transformation and need the EMS. So that way down the line in the future Uchihas who awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan don't have to go through the strife and struggle of finding out another Uchiha in their family to take their eyes and leaving another Uchiha blind, as opposed to having a system already set up. And off topic, by the way, the best way I believe this can even take place is for, by the end of the story, this guy Sasuke comes back, and obviously him and Sakura get together. They have eventually another child. That child goes on to be a boy, and that boy goes on to eventually awaken in Mangekyo Sharingan. He has no one to get eyes from, but oh, lo and behold, his older sister already went through this problem, and now we have a nice and clean machine system set up to where we can synthetically produce a matching compatible set of eyes to transfer over to an Uchiha who awakens a Mangekyo Sharingan. That guy goes on to find a wife, populates the earth, and boom, we got the Uchiha clan restored. So there's definitely a way to basically go down that route. But sticking with solely Sarada and understanding the two possibilities, either a prolonged Mangekyo Sharingan, basically not getting a new set of eyes transferred to you, or having some way, somehow figured out a way to get her this EMS. Let me know what route y'all think Ikimoto will take with the character, and which route do you realistically think will fit with Sarada and her approach to obtaining more power. I know she's not gonna sit idly by and just go blind, unless she wants to operate off of her sixth sense. Let me know. It's your boy Blackechi out 3, long face, skinny body. Holla at your bar, I'ma holla at y'all. Blackechi out, yes sir. Ski.